because I think if you knew it was going to be a really big wet day, then I think maybe Brown you would drop out of the North Melbourne side, or maybe Witts out of the Collingwood team.
So Andrew Swallow named but not in.
Umpire tosses it up. Knocked down by Goldstein, taken by Zeeble, sends it down towards half forward, Waits in front. Well played. Emerges with a football, goes across the ground. Nahas in from the side, Oxley. Oxley gets a free kick, advantage is paid. Langdon towards the outer side wing. Now White with nothing to kick to. A runner alongside and uses that man now. It's Crisp. Goes towards the pocket. And Cloak a long way out. Too far out to score. Centering ball then. Pendlebury works in front. Well, that was interesting. The double bluff. Behind a chance for McDonald. Takes it towards the boundary line. Got boot to ball. Goldstein reaches down for it. Arriving quickly as Blair. Seedsman. Centering ball again. Lunging at this one. Brilliant gather by McMillan.
Very clean, wasn't it, to Frost. Just kept paddling the ball forward, did a good job, and then takes on Lindsay Thomas. So Frost, long ball, top of the square. Side bottom, a chance if the ball gets out there. Not quite. Atley terrific to Harvey. 3-9-3 and counting. Back to Atley, to Harvey, to Nahas, who's been accurate this year. But at half back will just thump the ball forward. Thomas, Tuvey, we spoke earlier with Bucks. He said that would be the matchup. This time Thomas has a win. And Benny Brown, with a man that can open the account for the Kangaroos.
Yeah, I think that was late enough. The kick had well left the boot before the push in the back, so down the ground. As it is now, Brown, the question, can he actually go back? Difficult angle, plenty of goal face open to him. He's normally a pretty good kick for goal.
12-5 for the year, Lee.
Yeah.
So the set shots have been accurate from what we have seen. Wet afternoon, had a week off, knee issue, back in. He and Kane Turner. First score of the afternoon.
Very lucky there from the Pies. You can't be giving away down the free kick in such bad conditions. Give them an easy shot at goal.
Goal sack to bring it in then. Early going Sunday footy to the pocket. Wow, some indecision there. It bounces eventually for Seedsman, who goes back to the man who was indecisive. That's Frost. Has a kick up towards the wing. Crisp gets on the end of it. So it worked out okay. Crisp to Cloak. Seedsman is cruising past. Thompson, aware of that, did very well. So Cloak a long way up the ground. Side bottom is running hard. Why not go there? Because he's quality. It goes in his direction. He's being held off the ball. No free kick. Punched out of bounds by Ferrito.
Smart move getting Cloak up the ground. Get him into the play. Get him a bit of confidence.
So Grundy and Witts will double team Goldstein this afternoon. Goldstein, we know, is a workhorse, rarely leaves the ground, and has done the bulk of the rucking for the Arden Street team for the best part of 5 years. Extraordinary to think he's rarely missed.
And rarely does the double team have any negative effect on him. He's always going as strong at the end of the game, even if there is a couple of ruckmen working against him.
Swan at the fall of the ball to Mont. Swan just drifted around the back. Quick give, side bottom, a rare fumble. Wonderful to see him back last week. So balanced on either side of the body. Suddenly Seedsman. Cloak, Tarrant, strong body work from both players. Cloak had the opportunity. Nahas, a little bit of a fumble in the handball from Ferrito. Put McMillan under pressure. He was clean earlier. Blair quickly. Swan had to be just as quick. Heard the umpire. Side bottom taken to ground. Right was a tackler. Seedsman drifted from half back to half forward and takes Ferrito over.
I reckon I've seen shorter marks than that paid. They're not 15. It was a little bit harsh, I think. It might have been about 16.
I reckon you're right. Boundary throw in. That's an interesting manoeuvre. Synchronized swimming by the ruckman. Falls in front. Crisp taken down. All up.
Boys, Brad Scott mentioned how important Jamie Elliott is and how good he is as a small forward. Ferrito's got the job on him this Savo.
Goldstein, Grundy. Goldstein, good use of the body. Williams. Seedsman. Centering ball about 15 metres out. Cloak had it thumped away. Roving the pack, Blair. Pendlebury stood up in the tackle. Trying to get through was Elliott. Tough in there. And I doubt that ball is coming out.
You can already see North's mindset. They don't want to give any cheap goals away. They've got all but about 3 or 4 players down in their defensive 50.
Goldstein knocked it down. Feasting on it, Swan, Grundy, quickly, Elliott, 5 last week. Well, that's what he does. Well, on this occasion, but he scores and scores often, and Sharks. He is becoming a weapon for Nathan Buckley.
Real good player. Harvey to himself. Scuttles away. Gets up towards half-back. Brown is the target. What a terrific mark. Greasy ball. Got it to its highest point. Something about this young man. Just pops it over the man on the mark. Bastanak still inside the centre square. Grey clouds above the MCG, and White gets above Frost and takes the mark.
Perfect from the North Melbourne tools there. Brown taking a good, strong contested mark in the middle of the ground, moving the ball on quickly to get Waite down on a, well, started to be a 1v1, but then good enough to take a strong contested mark in the forward 50. Conditions don't seem to be an issue at this stage.
No. And that's ominous, those two big guys taking those sort of marks. So Waite, good-looking kick. Puts it through, and when he's on, we know he's on.
Yes, I've got to say there's not many two more inconsistent players in football than Jared Waite. He can be outstanding on his good days and virtually be non-existent on his bad days. And if you can get the first goal on the board for players like that, you just lifts your confidence, gets your adrenaline flow going. So if he has one of those on days, then Frost and we've got Goldsack as his main opponent at this point of time.
There's something about young Brown, isn't there?
There's Jared Waite. He's as the third tall. He's actually Goldsack. He's his direct opponent, and certainly Goldsack's going to be giving away plenty of height in that matchup.
You speak,
Holstein,
Lee, about Jared Waite being inconsistent. 13 goals this year, 10 of them in 2 games,
Yeah.
3 times goalless.
2 big bags.
So side bottom, quickly inside, cloak the target, it'll fall short. Well done for Solo. Ask Maxi about Fasolo in just a moment, but last week he was dangerous. 13 touches, 3 goals straight. Dangerous early too. Long ball, thumping ball. Well, maybe Witts. Has he done enough early, or did he fumble over?
Hold on, Jack, hold on. I just wanted to check the ball hadn't crossed the line first.
Score review. Umpire's calls a mark. Please check to whether it crossed the line first.
Review underway.
Jared.
Review complete. Confirm mark.
1 more metre. That's your line now. It's a mark. It's a mark. Play on.
Well, quick review, quick goal, good snap. Pies first of the afternoon, level ball game. That may well be been the quickest review in the history of reviews. It was instantaneous and it was very, very quick.
It was pretty obvious, wasn't it, really, that he got first feel of the ball before the line. He didn't juggle it, so that was always going to be clearly a mark from that.
almost dismissive. Almost dismissive, wasn't it?
Oh, you really only needed one look to confirm it was definitely a mark, yeah.
Bad feedback for the goal umpire. Comes back so quickly.
He didn't even ask the question.
Yeah, after the goal review, well, the umpire said he thought it was a mark, but he just wanted to check it, and the review was very conclusive that the umpire was correct. He got hold of the footy before it hit the line.
Against Witts, he got that goal.
2 hands first.
Do you like the goal review, Hodgie?
If it's quick and effective like that one there, that was over in 5 to 10 seconds, no problems at all. But the ones that drag out, that seems to frustrate the players a fair bit.
Goldstein inside the forward 50. Cunnington's got the footy. Brown's got him.
I thought players would be happy for the rest while the review's going on.
Depends. If you've got a run on, you don't want it. But
Depends which end it is.
A few goals, you don't mind the break.
Tossed up, Zeeble. Third man up, and some blocking by Goldstein is called. So Witts with the footy comes out wide. In fact, it's 50. Something must have been said. No, restricted area.
Yeah, I think Thomas might have ran into that. It's 5 metres either side of the direct line between the kicker and the man on the mark. That's the protected area.
So Witts takes something off the kick. Goldstein gets across and takes the mark. Man with the conscience. Redeems the situation, goes to McDonald. He's a left half back. Well, Waite is outnumbered. Collingwood needed on the deck. They've got players everywhere, but it bounced away from them. Nahas did well. Waite gives it across to his teammate there, Jamont. Jamont kicks inside the forward 50. Going to ground, the defender Brown gets to his feet, applies a tackle and wins a free kick against Petrie. That was well done.
Just to finish, Hodgie, on the goal review, if you had your option, would it remain in the goal review or you get rid of it?
No, I like it. If it's a simple review like that where they can see if it's a marker or a point, keep it in. It's the ones that go for 30 to 40 seconds that really frustrate the players and the supporters.
So Adams, back it goes. Langdon sweeping the ball wide. Goldsack in the easy to see wheels. Kick is okay. Falling ball for Oxley. Hasn't missed at all this year, Oxley. He's been pretty reliable. Lean figure. Back to Goldsack. Nathan Brown starts to run back inside. Well, suddenly Waite has an opportunity for another, and it'll be just on his distance, you'd suggest.
Goldsack was his opponent, kicked it straight to him.
Well, big man on the lead. So Petrie can wrestle the lead back for the Kangaroos.
That's great composure there from Waite. He's taken a nice diving mark. He, in the past, can go back and blaze away, but he had enough composure to pull back and hit a leading Drew Petrie.
So Drew Petrie, as Lee Matthews said, doing it at both ends of the ground this year for the Kangaroos. No major on this occasion.
I always think he played his best footy a number of years ago when he played ruck. And as a competing ruckman, been a fantastic around-the-ground follower. I mean, Goldstein's doing that for them anyway, but I thought Petrie's done a lot of good work as a forward, but in that year or two in the ruck, he was outstanding.
Goldsack to bring it in then. Very short. Williams. Very elusive last week. Spring Heel Jack sends a high ball close to the boundary, missed by Hansen for Solo. Fortuitous, but now they can make something of it. No, they won't. The kick was wayward. White did well. Little 1-2 with Harvey. Bastanak in space, but not for long. Storming at him. Adams took him down. Side bottom got the crumb. That hand pass from Pendlebury. Intercepted by Zeeble. Harvey once more. Bastanak goes down towards half forward. In front, Petrie. Brown reaches over the top, thumps it away. Petrie tackled strongly by side bottom. Cunnington goes to Bastanak to Harvey. Harvey in space. Could he get through? Not quite. Upended. Bounces to Gibson. Hand passes to Nahas. McDonald lines up. Goes to the goal square. Well, sort of. He dragged the man out of the square. White comes around. My goodness.
The thought was good, the execution was horrible.
Horrible as being kindly.
That wasn't an absolute sitter. I mean, turning the ball on your boot really from 45 metres, 10 metres out is an absolute gimme. But
it's that composure, though. You take a mark, go back off the mark, and then do the Stevie J wrap around the corner. Don't need to rush it.
Was it you, Hodgie, moments ago that was talking about how he has rushes of blood and does things that can frustrate?
Right on cue.
2 metres, Robbie.
Wow.
Thank you. Thanks, Robbie.
So Trav Cloak, a long way from where he can do so much damage for the Pies. Thumps it to the wing. Well, slippery ground out the back. Brown, foot race on the outer side. Grundy keeps his feet. Ball too slip for the youngster. Well, this is extraordinary.
when you do it across the body, you've got to kick it obviously on the right-hand side of the footy that when he was looking at it, he completely miskicked it.
Grundy, Brown, neither decisively. Ends up with Oxley paddling the ball forward. Side bottom, feeds the ball back. Adams, a duck and a weave, beats both Kangaroos. And now again, they're on the march, the Pies. Witts crashing the pack. Well, it's kept in the end. And McMillan, the beneficiary of all of that, and they'll get a free kick, the Kangaroos. It was dangerous for the Roos. It was a poor kick. So Nahas, who's been accurate this year and dangerous.
Hodgie, just quickly, they're kicking the ball across the body. You think you can make players think they make better contact with the belly of the ball rather than the point?
If you compose, you can. It's when blokes rushes, you can come off the middle of your foot, and as Waite said.
McDonald 55 metres out, long towards full forward. Waite is down there. Goldsack takes a swing at it, gets back first, clears the zone, side bottom, as always. Does something constructive. Put across in front of Cunnington, and that was enough. Adams barely got away, didn't get away. Brown a half volley. Zeeble, strong body work. Cunnington went to ground. Higgins to the side of the pack. Down at his feet, Gibson around the corner, over the head of Waite. Bounces down towards the boundary. Thomas can do the spectacular, but not that time. Out of bounds on the full.
I'd expect Brad Scott to be pretty angry at that. That's where you want to take the ball out, reset, get a forward 50 stoppage.
It's 1,000,000-1 stuff, wasn't it? Out of the air, wrong side.
Thinks he's Eddie Betts. Delusions of grandeur.
Interesting afternoon. I mean, the Pies, who have been good this year, have an opportunity to jump into the 4, and given how tight this ladder is, the Roos, one of 6 sides coming in with a 4-4 record, simply must win to stay in touch with what is right now a highly competitive competition. Side bottom. So clean, quickly on, left boot. Well, no favours really in the end for Fasolo. Other side, tough ball to win. Blair beaten to it by Cunnington, who is clean, knocks it back. Tarrant fumbles, finally to Bastanak. He lost his feet too. Cunnington, pressure comes from Cloak. Blair's there. Cunnington kept hold of the football. Back it comes to Atley. Quickly over the top. They've got to be quick here. Ferrito was good enough, but Grundy, clever, tapped it down, and Adams comes through the middle of the seedsman.
That was brilliant, wasn't it? Now Swan in space. Goes looking for Wits. Carried under the ball by Hanson. That was clever. This is still a live footy. Rolling towards the goal. Won't reach. Tarrant gets back. Under pressure now. Goes with his left peg to a contest. In front, Petrie almost. Brown inadvertently socketed away. Nahas out of bounds.
Over on the other wing, the Collingwood, the North boys just have to get the ball in the boot. They're over handballing in these wetty, slippery conditions. Get the ball going forward to their forwards.
Only kicking at 53%, the Kangaroos, to start the game, Hodgie.
Not ideal, mate. Not ideal, especially with the wedge. Just get it going forward, just like Swanee did.
Quickly to the boot from the Brownlow medalist, McMillan defending. Here's a chance from Blair. Settles, not quite, couldn't take it cleanly. Thought for a moment he was going to try and soccer off the ground by Lindsay Thomas style, but keeps it in. And Hodgie, this is what you thought should have happened at the other end. Reset, chance for the Pies.
Exactly right. If you look at North Melbourne now, they're under pressure. Whether it could have been exactly the same up the other end. Collingwood are in a prime position right now.
Brown, front spot. Zeeble waits. Almost for Swan. Side bottom. Tried to work it into the hands of Adams. Bastanak tries to thump it away. Billy Elliott beaten to it by Zeeble. Tackle was good. Still dangerous times for the Kangaroos. Side bottom. Had it. Lost it. Billy's going nowhere.
Going nowhere. Thanks, Jamie.
Side bottom, quite remarkable.
Coming out behind.
He's like his captain, just knows to find the ball in a pack of players. Wonderful skill to have under pressure. Elliott pulls it back. Cloak's in front. Awkward bouncing footy. Harvey, will he concede? No, he won't. Takes them on. Gibson around the outer side. And Higgins forced to hold up. No target down the ground. Now a man on in the middle is Hanson. Goes there now. Bastanak. And Collingwood passed off very well there. Grundy came onto the mark as the ball goes wide from Hanson. Frost is committed to that pack. Came up, waited behind, got the crumb. Bastanak puts a body on him. And Frost goes diving after it. Not sure why. We've got a boundary throw in.
I saw Higgins before when we were looking at the players who changed club recruits of the year in the soapbox earlier. I didn't mention him, but I think as a free agent, he's been very good value, I would have thought, for the Kangaroos.
Kick 13 for the year. Hasn't missed a game yet. Harvey, possession number 8. He just continues to charge on. 37 years. And as you said, Lee, Boomer has shown no signs of slowing down.
No, amazing.
Neatly to Gibson, to within range. Well, tough for Brown, shepherding through. Does it work out? Not quite.
Close. Yeah, I suspect, Hodgins, it's interesting that because players are trained so much individually, I think players are going to more play in deep into their 30s, or not necessarily late 30s.
Yeah, exactly right.
Previous generations.
Training these days are tailored to the needs. So if you're a key position player, they are less training and less fatigue.
Thompson looking for Brown. Nahas, chance to goal here, and he does. The opportunist. North Melbourne lead it by 8 points then. Under pressure moments ago at the other end of the ground, but they got it out of there. And Harvey took a risk. He could have just gone back across the goal line, decided to take them on. And they ran the length of the ground, and Robbie Nahas gets the goal. Just under 7 minutes remaining in the first term.
You got to like how Brown's attacked the game. He took a big, strong mark in the middle of the ground, and then he's had 2 good contests in the forward 50. One almost went through for a goal, and that one set up Nahas's goal then.
His first of the afternoon, 9th for the year, 9 goals, 1 for Nahas. Quickly the Pies, hands on the football. Dane Swan, who normally does something interesting. He ran a long way. Jesse White, Ferrito the tackler. Here's a chance, not quite for Blair. McDonald put off the football. Pendlebury fed it through for Solo. A little fumble. Clever wide ball. Seedsman just a little slip at the crucial time, and McDonald clever enough to see it over. McDonald, son of a gun, has been so impressive in his first season and a half. The Pies press the Kangaroos by 8 points this stage last week. The Kangaroos are already in trouble. Back it will come to the youngster who we saw debut against the Cats and was so impressive, Dumont.
Maxie, early in the game, we know it rained, but looks at the moment, obviously it's clear skies all of a sudden, and the ball's not even slippery by the look of it. Looks like it's almost perfect
at the moment, Lee, and there's no wind at all down here, so expect the conditions to get wetter as the game goes on, though. We can see some clouds floating around.
Youngster from South Australia then. Sends it up towards the wing. Goldstein uncontested. Lays it off. Harvey, been industrious. Sends it down towards half forward. Up goes White. Some confidence there. Hung in the air. 70 metres out. Petrie just looks over the shoulder. The pressure wasn't there. He knew that and advanced confidently.
Yes, I think the modern defender, and Brown, of course, had the problem on Petrie, was they're going to go long over the top, and he covered the back position, but Petrie just was able to drop into the hole. This good mark, good jump from the front position, but then just, I know it was the push-off, good forward play just to make sure he gave himself a couple of yards.
On a cloudy day in Melbourne, the height of North Melbourne was worrying Collingwood. This kick, though, doesn't put it on the scoreboard. It goes out of bounds in that rightful forward pocket.
Take away a couple of Drew shots, but that's how Brad Scott want them to play. They got Jared Wade across just so they got Brown, Wade and Petrie on the forward line. They're all working well together.
A couple of poor misses from Drew Petrie. The youngster gets taken immediately after grabbing the football, Dumont.
Look at both ends. The forwards of both teams are taller than the defenders of both teams, and that's really how it usually is.
Swan, hurried ball. Now Petrie will go back with a flight.
Good mark. Point being, the defender has to have the agility to stay with the forward, so very rarely can you be as tall as the forward and have that sort of same kind of defensive agility.
So Drew Petrie's third set shot of the afternoon, and no score behind. This to extend an 8-point lead. Well, again, disappointing off the boot. Never likely. 6 scoring shots to 2, excluding Waite, who kicked it out of bounds on the full, and Petrie's former shot. So really 8 to 2.
Goal sack. Challenging kick straight up the middle. White goes up, couldn't mark it. Dumont under the loose ball this time, hooks it back inside the forward 50. Brown with courage. Frost back there for Collingwood. Spots Adams, dangerous kick, bypassed Adams actually. Not sure that was his intention. Blair told to go. Chips it towards Witts. He's got coverage on the ground, coming up the top, thumped away down there by McDonald. Dumont impressed with him. McDonald's in trouble. Spilt the ball. Ackley, McMillan, now Hansen. Ackley again, looks back towards the middle, nothing on. Has to go back inside the defensive 50. And the mark is taken by Thompson. Ferrito cruising past. Nothing long out there. Well, it's decided on a 50-50 ball. Gibson first to arrive. Crisp was hanging off. Another hand pass back to Atlee. Ran hard moments ago on this side of the ground. Ferrito goes inside the forward 50. Cunnington arriving a step late, whereas Witts did okay. Umpire said he did. Side bottom. And now Pendlebury.
Well done, Brown. Got there late, but did exactly what he needed to do. Gibson, not paid. Crisp tackles, takes him to ground. Probably unlucky in the end.
North have had 14 inside 50s to 9. They've taken 5 contested marks. They just need to be kicking straighter, as it's shown in previous weeks. If you miss goals, it costs you games.
Bastanak knocked away quickly by Crisp, who's been a wonderful pickup. Well, quite ferocious tackle in the end. Going nowhere, was right out the back. The ball comes. Tarrant's got to be quick. Saw Bastanak. Quick take. Undecided. Petrie's at half-back. Then peeling off was Elliott. He saw that, so short to McMillan.
Move it on, play on.
Got thumped last week with the ball into the belly. Recovered quickly. Now Goldstein leads Grundy to the ball. Low-scoring affair so far, but the Kangaroos by 9 points, not far off quarter time.
You don't want to go long down the line too often, but it's certainly when you got Goldstein and his ruck opponent on the end of it, he does take a few of those marks from long kicks down the line.
Grundy battles with Goldstein. They fight a draw. Comes behind the pack. Crisp in trouble. Slung. Williams took a while. Langdon upended. Naha slips a hand pass away. Thomas creates his own space. Chips for Waite on a lead. Wonderful understanding. What a well-timed lead it was from Waite. He waited. With that, Thomas runs off the ground and Waite will take a shot at goal.
Third shot at goal, one out of bounds. And I've said Kangaroos have had a few shots from this 40-metre gettable range and missed most of them.
6 marks inside 50 for North. That's telling. Waite. This one's online. He's got his second. So North looking dangerous. We talked about big guys coming in. Well, those big men have been very efficient in terms of getting the footy. Not so efficient at converting, but there you go. Waite's got 2. Under 2 minutes to quarter time on Sunday football.
We see the Kangaroos come out of this stoppage here. Little fumble, good pressure by the Kangaroos players, but this is the 6th mark inside 50 for the Kangaroos. Just not good enough. Nathan Brown just came off the ground. He's a defensive leader down there. Nathan Buckley not happy at all.
North Melbourne.
Well, Nathan Buckley ferocious on the sidelines, frustrated. And the Kangaroos have had a good opening term, might just get better in a moment. There's a lot of them that fall of the ball. Quickly stolen by Harvey, fed back to Higgins. Over the top, wanted Waite, missed him. Chance for Tuvey, still dangerous times for the Pies. Dumont, Frost, Clever, Williams hurriedly. And it should be the Kangaroos. Well, Thompson had it, lost it, just bounced off the chest. McMillan waits for it. Pies get desperate, need to be. Varco, hands and knees. White, Seedsman, Blair. Well, here's a chance for Adams. Backs his pace, almost runs into trouble, gave it off. Varco, no one really doing inside 50. In fact, not a pie there at all. Back to Witts. Witts still has no one. Gives the ball back unless Sidebottom can do something remarkable. Maybe out of bounds on the full. Maybe something late for the Pies.
Travis Plate left foot inboard always gives him a better chance of working the ball across the body. Open up the angle.
Well, opens up the angle, kicks it. So, probably no. Looked good from here, Hodgie, and umpire says absolutely not.
Yeah, it was a good effort, but that's they're always tough from those pockets with the banana from there. But I didn't see him have any of those shots before the game out there. They're all from straight in front.
You sound like you want a replay home.
Well,
Hey?
I thought it was good from here, Letha. We've got a reasonable view, but
Yeah.
well, I've got 2 sets of glasses on.
We are 150 metres away. I'm quite happy to leave the goal umpire to that one.
I'm with you.
You've got contacts. You could get your own review, I reckon. Here's McDonald out of defence. A high ball up towards the wing. Goldstein, powerful mark. Sends a message, that one. Grundy's got his hands full. Goldstein between the lines. Clock running down to quarter time. Right.
Play there, play on.
Will they go one more time? Here's Tarrant towards half forward. Petrie. There's still time. 12 seconds. He's oblivious to that. He knows it's close, but he doesn't know how close. 7 seconds. Needs a mark, really. Sends it inside the forward 50. Brown could provide it. Should have. Spills off hands now. He got the kick off. It's a goal, I think. Certainly the umpires wouldn't have heard the siren. I think we heard it almost instantaneously. Higgins has kicked the goal, and I reckon it will stand. It has. What a finish. Quarter time at the MCG. Indigenous round. 4-4-28 North Melbourne with a spurt at the end. Collingwood lamenting on 1-2-8.
Those opportunities went down for North and gave him scoring opportunities. So, look, I think Gay would have had a fair word to him, and as you see there, he's sitting on the pine. Hopefully make up for that when he gets back on.
Margin 20 points then. Start of the second term of the MCG. Witts goes up and knocks it down. Cunnington falling to the ground. Side bottom, hacks it forward over the head of Elliott. Thompson needs to be careful. Got boot to ball. Back inside the centre square. McMillan, unkind bounce. Seedsman, Witts off balance. Didn't get much on that footy. Fasolo came to meet it though. Varco, 55 metres out, Bacon square. White trying to shepherd it through, hit the post.
Haven't seen him doing heaps in the Collingwood jump, but geez, wasn't that a deja vu of his Geelong days, Varco, the running through the 50-metre line, having the long shot.
That wonderful goal in the grand final of 2011 will long live in Cats fans' minds. Tuvey, Petrie, good contest. Cunnington, terrific handball to Lindsay Thomas. Wheels onto that left boot. Delivery, well, it's going to work out unbelievably well. Nahas within a metre, his second.
Yeah, that was interesting. Waite was leading at the footy, and all of a sudden he missed him by 10 metres. And Waite all of a sudden realised he actually wasn't kicking it to me. He was kicking it alongside him to Nahas, who ran into the open goal. Waite couldn't work out why he missed me by 10 metres from 20 metres away.
It was the teaser stallion.
I think we're all looking at Waite and go, how poor a kick is that? And Nahas jumped out of the shadows. Good goal. Suddenly, Kangas by 25.
But look at this. I'm sure Waite thought the ball was going to him, but of course it wasn't.
But we know
the space.
We know Thomas is a freak, but I reckon he was trying to go to Waite then. There's no way he's seen North.
Not so sure about Nahas. Okay.
Goldstein stood up in a tackle. Zeeble, Collingwood with a lot of problems right here. Frost knocks it down. Varco comes away. Well played. Runs inside the centre square. Shonky old kick. Bounces towards the wing. Elliott surrounded. Got hands to it. Side bottom, releases Seedsman, goes with the left peg down towards the 50. Up comes Cloak. Fasolo stood up in a tackle, gave it to Blair. Blair sends a long one down towards full forward. Almost the mark down there to White. Good effort. Got in front, got both hands to it, but as you can see, Kangaroos around him in all directions. And the short one from Bastanak to Tarrant. Numbers back. North Melbourne there. Collingwood need to find some goals. Not looking all that likely at the moment. Side bottom punches away from right and the ball goes out of bounds.
Well, top four spot available to the Pies with a win. North Melbourne coming off a shocker against the Dockers. Goldstein through the hand. Swan. Well, Elliott's at the fall of all that. Nice defensive work, but it's going to come back well. Tuvey had it and lost it. Thomas very quick. Harvey slick as well. Atley laterally very good. Then back inside to Thomas, who squeezes the ball wide. Suddenly the Kangaroos look dangerous again. McDonald darts onto the left and then back to Thomas by hand. The run to right on 50. Who'll think about going long. Low ball. Won't get there.
Should have done better with that. Higgins was behind the pack, imploring him to kick it to him. Similar thing happened last week. The remonstrating between that pair. I've said too much. Swan's got the ball and drives it towards the outer side. That's what happens when you watch a lot of tape. You become a tattletale. I think it was playful. Here's Cloak. Right on the wing. Drives it down towards the forward pocket. In front. Thompson missed it. He's going to get a free kick. White was a step late. Took him high. Thompson runs away then to the opposite pocket. McMillan. North in total control at the moment. Not so much on the scoreboard, it's just the way they're doing it, and the scoreboard's handy enough. Here's Higgins. Looks back inside. Harvey offers short. High ball. Petrie gives a contest, knocked it down. Zeeble, the beneficiary, slips a hand pass away. Cunnington. Now Brown is on. Headed back to the square. Brown. Goldstein in the middle. Well, Brown cleared space for him, actually. Not sure that was his intention. He turned and was running back to the square. Swan went with him, and filling that vacancy was Todd Goldstein.
He just floated round down the centre corridor. Basically, he's almost alongside Zeeble here, inboard. And he just kept running into space, and eventually he was seen and he got used. That's great, great running from the big fella.
Well, Todd is becoming a four-letter word for the Collingwood coach at the moment. There goes the kick, and through it goes, causing them all sorts of trouble.
5 in a row now to the Kangaroos. 3 late in the first, and the first 2 of this second term. Nahas the first, and then Goldstein, and suddenly a 31-point lead.
Doesn't matter whether you're a ruckman or a midfield. If all of a sudden you lose concentration and your opponent runs forward into the 50 and you just haven't gone with him, I feel like where's the hole I can jump in if they get used.
They're going to have to start to tighten up on Goldstein here. He's taken 3 or 4 strong marks around the ground. Actually, 5, I think. And then, as you see, running forward, you need to keep an eye. Whether it's Witts or Grundy around the ground, they need to be more switched on.
So Goldstein gets his first of the afternoon, and the Kangaroos suddenly have 6. Collingwood, the lone scorer, is Witts. Pendlebury right now is unusually quiet. Just the 5 touches so far this afternoon after being so prolific last weekend in his 200th. The Montley just playing his 3rd game. We saw him debut. He was really impressive in the little we saw him. That win against the Cats down at the Cattery. Amongst it all this afternoon, Swan hurriedly off the ground. Tough for everyone as it bounces through. For Solo, for Rito underneath it all. Trying to get rid of it. Plenty making sure it does it. But the umpire said you didn't try hard enough.
This is what Alex Fasolo's got to do. He has absolutely elite talent. Could be an All-Australian if he reaches his full potential. He's had some problems with his feet injuries in the past with a navicular, but he also has to improve his work rate and particularly his defensive play. So if he can kick a goal here, really make it count, the Collingwood coach will be extremely happy. 5
weeks in the VFL, Max, he was an injury. That was sending a message.
That was a message for form and also just his attitude. He just got to work harder on the track. As I said, his talent is so high. He could be absolutely anything, and Collingwood really hope he fulfills that potential.
Singles in round 1 and 2. VFL until last week. 3 straight last week. He's got one this afternoon, and the Pies needed it.
I've got to check with you, Lee, I think, about whether that was holding the ball or not. Seemed a tough ball.
I don't like that one. When you deliberately dive on the footy and it doesn't come out, fine, that's holding the ball. But when 2 players are contesting it and one sort of falls on the footy, I don't think that is the kind of prior opportunity, and I think that's a stiff free kick, I reckon, against Ferreira. We'll have a good look at it in a minute.
Didn't take possession, I don't think.
Have a look. Contest between 2 players. Yeah, Ferreira goes to ground. Ball gets trapped underneath him. I don't think that's the diving on the footy. And as soon as you dive on the footy, of course, you lose all your rights. I think he's very stiff there.
Goldstein taps it down. Crisp. Collingwood got a handy goal. Touch footy. Tarrant under pressure immediately. Kicks it out wide though. Harvey still running hard. Close to the boundary line. Well weighted kick. Gets there in the nick of time. That's got to be 50.
A bit clumsy.
That was terrible. Langdon about 2 steps late. Embraced himself for the bump. Oh. What was he thinking? McMillan as the man on the mark about 45 metres out. Some chance from here if he decides to go for it. Tall timber down there too. Goldstein, Petrie, Brown. Goldstein tells a couple of them to buzz off. Petrie buzzes off. But Brown is hanging around. Will they be required right on the goal line? Big Todd gets his body in and moves a couple. It's a goal. It's a good kick.
Well, you saw what was happening early, didn't you? The big body down there, and as you said, Dan, just thumped his man out of the way. McMillan, a rare goal. He's 2nd for the season in his 5th outing.
He's a smart player too, Todd Goldstein. Knows where to run. Just a terrific player. Runner-up in the best and fairest last year. 3rd the year before, I think, from memory.
Good protection on the goal line. Ball just got over by a foot or so, yeah, but really good work by. It's amazing on the goal line you can do things to let the ball go through. You can't do it in any other aspect of the game. Push, shove, shepherd.
McMillan's first, Kangas 7th, back to 31 points. Gibson, the 243s on the outer side, and again the tall timber. Well, Petrie not quite in the right spot. Crisp coming back.
He made Cunnington happy though.
Side bottom. Frost had to wait. That lanky figure, he's become reliable for the Pies. Crisp to the outer side. Cloak, strong hands. Tarrant, I think, would be happy to see Cloak at half back.
Short and dangerous, but it got there. Crisp. Hangs a long time in the air. Got there again, though. Langdon. Slim margin for error on those last two kicks. Langdon touched off the boot. Now Wright would have heard that call. And hear it up here. Oh.
I think people playing at Punt Road would have heard that.
I think so.
Get plenty of margin for error if it's a touched off the boot, the umpires.
Yes. And Wright, like Brett Maverick, just sat on his hand. Here's Higgins. Out of defence. Bastanak. Brown crawling after it. Like him. DuPont. Bastanak. Now the guy who got the last goal, McMillan, onto the chest of Higgins, who got that goal right on half-time. So important.
Well, searching for Brown, but Pendlebury the intercept. Been quiet today, Hodgie, Scotty Pendlebury.
Yeah, exactly right. He obviously coming off a big game last week, but it hasn't been a great game out there. It's been a lot of contested footy where he's just surging the ball forward, trying to get it going your way. Pendlebury's more of a link-up kind of handball receive, get it back.
Well, 31-point lead. Varco. Cloak's got a couple of Kangaroos to beat. Decides to thump it down. Happy to see it over. Got caught between two and didn't like his options. Lindsay Thomas. Bit written about Lindsay today in the Herald Sun. He has been good for a long time for the Kangaroos. Set up that goal to Nahas moments ago. Goldstein, big wrestle with Witts. Swan read it perfectly. Takes on McMillan, gets a handball away. Oxley had to wait a long time. Dumont did well, the youngster. Threads through a few. Handball not perfect. Chance for Witts. Seedsman probably could have taken it. Marley Williams back onto the left boot. Well, maybe for Solo. Had it. Almost twice. Quick give. Atley, Cunnington, Zeeble. Fed it back now. Hanson, the loose man. Wait, big sit, big fly, good take.
Had to take it, he certainly forced him out of the footy.
On the overlap, McMillan down towards the 50. Thomas in trouble, quick thinking. Got it to his boot. Frost goes back. This defence under real pressure. Varco run down by Petrie and hand passes it through for a behind, and that's okay. He certainly was under pressure. Had he missed, though, there's the mark again.
He's almost took it on the way down. Good jump, though.
That hand pass from Varco goes the other side of the post. It would have been deliberate, of course, which is sometimes pretty harsh because they're trying to score a point. Still doesn't matter for Rito on the other side. Gathers it, looks inboard. McMillan, up he goes. And it knocked away by Crisp. Found it again. Gives a hand pass off. Nahas with the outside of the boot. Bounces it to the square. Toothey is back. Under pressure, though, from Thomas, who touched the ball. It comes out towards the wing and runs out of bounds.
The last couple of plays there from the North forwards was excellent. You got Petrie, who's 32, 33 years old, chasing down a small defender. And then you had Nahas and also Thomas putting forward pressure on.
Saw Boomer Harvey there, older than anyone else out there, as reliable as any. Hardly had an oil change since he started. He's been remarkable. Frito quickly. Here's a chance. Kangaroos, they've been looking dangerous to the lead of Petrie. Thomas out the back, won't get a chance. Strong hands for Petrie. He's been wayward this afternoon. This to make it 38 points.
And the ball's hung in the air. I mean, that gave him maybe a 55% chance. Certainly not a big chance of marking, but he was just good enough here to just out-position the big forwards for the Kangaroos. Their height is counting, but not down the other end.
Well, he won't be chock full of confidence, Petrie, but the umpire hardly moved. He gets his first of the afternoon. Kangas more than 6 goals now, the lead. They haven't looked likely, Collingwood, in the last 15 minutes or so, moving the ball forward. And the Kangaroos look dangerous every time they go inside 50.
Yeah, I guess it's just their composure with the ball. They've been able to not rush it. Collingwood going inside 50 have bombed away, and they've been to a contest of 2 or 3 players trying to compete against each other for Collingwood forwards. But North have been able to, I guess, one-on-ones everywhere and been able to kick to the advantage. And as Lee said, if it's not to their advantage, they're strong enough and big enough to take the mark.
Drew Petrie with 12 goals now in the season. And this is really blowing out. Collingwood desperate for some goals. Not looking all that likely. Cunnington managed to get boots of ball. Goldstein looking to thread a hand pass. Zeebel's over the football. Swan was with him. Harvey looking for a free kick. Out of there, Adams punches it down towards half forward. Leading in the race is Thompson. Off the ground by Swan. McDonald double grab. Cunnington following up. Didn't have the football, taken down. Ferrito aligns himself with the footy and does pretty well. Sockers and gets it out.
One small change down here, boys. Jamie Elliott's only had the 2 touches, has been moved up onto a wing.
Scott Pendlebury just 7. Dane Swan, well, he's going okay with 13. Goldstein and Witts battle. Goldstein with the judgment. Lays it down. Goes after it again. Clears a path through small man. Zeeble, though, couldn't get through. Adams in trouble. DuPont takes him down. And we'll have a ball up right on the numbers.
Certainly time to do something for Collingwood. I mean, 6 goals is just about, they get to 7 or 8. The game is almost gone, even though it's not yet half time. So they just have to find something to turn this flow of the game.
Zeeble, as he so often is, hands and knees, fighting for the football for the Kangaroos. Witts, a fumble and a tackle from Zeeble ensures the ball stays right there.
And that almost has to be initiated by the experienced talent. For that is Pendlebury and Swan, players of that ilk, because the Collingwood players also know that it's getting into game gone margin if they can't find the next goal or two. So it's a matter of who can lift them to that.
Ball spills. Seedsman, Marley Williams. They raffle it quickly forward. Grundy, well, hit at the right time by Hansen.
You got to feel for Boomer. He's just ticked about 38 years old, and he's got Marley Williams following his every step. So it just shows how much respect the opposition coach has for Harvey. They've got Zeeble and a lot of other talented players, but they still go to Harvey.
Well, he continues to keep on keeping on, doesn't he? Running, darting, weaving, feeding. He is remarkable. The rainbow sets, as you said, Hodgie, this morning, he'll hit 400. And people think, oh, well, it's already been done recently. It's not quite as remarkable as Fletch, but he's hardly missed Boomer Harvey since he debuted. Now the foot race to the outer side. Pies should get there first. Billy Elliott, well, the bounce was cruel, and suddenly Petrie feeds it back to Gibson. Brown had him. Ball dropped. Varco wants to get involved. Ferrito is terrific. Got it. Swiveled to Nahas. Now to McMillan. Varco, the tackle was good. Still Ferrito involved. Over the top it comes. Hansen's got to be quick. Varco, another tackle.
We just saw the inside 50 tackles on the screen just before, and Collingwood are dominating that. I think it was about 11 or 12 to only one. Here we see them there, but I guess the point is up the other end. North have been getting it and kicking goals. So they haven't had a chance for Collingwood to tackle them to get the ball back.
Some spirit there from the Magpies, though. Good to see. Knocked down by Goldstein. What a power, what a force he's been in this game. Out of bounds.
Makes it hard to lay inside 50 tackles if you're marking the ball in the first place. And the Kangaroos, I think they were up to 6 or 7 inside 50 marks before. I suspect that's even higher inside. We see it there, 8. I mean, 8's a terrific effort for half a game.
Crisp with the outside of the boot for Solo. Had it thumped away at the last moment by McMillan. Solo digs it out of there. Blair looking for it. Can't find the handle. Then slaps it through to Swan, who turns around and shoots at goal, but puts it out of bounds on the full. Highly decorated player. Fighting the football this afternoon. One of the few for Collingwood. Just over 8 minutes till half time. 53 plays 15.
The inside 50's 8-1. Not only is 8 a huge number, stark contrast to what the Pies are able to do. Quick kick. Higgins, well, somehow finds Dumont. Quickly feeds it back. Atley, don't argue against Langdon. Again to Higgins, who backs himself. Confidence right now with the Kangaroos. They seem to be able to take the game on. The Pies at the moment stifled. Kangaroos, every time they get the football, seem like they're happy to run and go. They seem a quicker side for the moment. Grundy got hold of it. Elliott did well. Pendlebury, as always, slowly finds space. What a quick player, but always in control. Never flustered. Goldsack, well, he's changed the boots and he's gone inside and he's missed the target. Had the orange on, now the white. Harvey feeds it. Nahas, he's been good this afternoon, but nothing obvious. So a little pause back inside and around Goldsack. Wants Petrie and finds.
Beautiful pass. Petrie sustained the lead, kept on coming. He's back across the ground. McMillan having a good term. For Rito. White is on for a short hand pass or a long hand pass. Becomes a long one. Sends it inside the forward 50. Higgins has got some separation down there. Timely fist at the last moment from Crisp. Grundy on his best game this afternoon. Crisp a little 1-2. Intended for a teammate. Varco left it behind. Out of defence, Elliott kicks it up towards the wing. Swan, the pressure enormous from North Melbourne.
It's still very hot around the contest. It's just how North are moving the ball. Collingwood just seemed a little bit rushed, but actually inside around the stoppages, it's actually both teams are having a red-hot crack.
Well, a good response from the Kangaroos, who were dismantled last weekend by the Dockers. All teams have had their issues with Fremantle, but North Melbourne, they were really disappointing. Terrific first half so far this afternoon. How do the Magpies respond to a sluggish opening half? 8-5, 13 scoring shots to 2-3. Grundy, a little fumble. Cunnington wants Bastanak, finds him. No pressure immediately. Quick kick forward. Nahas, well, front spot. Well done, Langdon. Went back with the flight. Feeds it back inside to Tuvey. The one in for the Magpies. Broomhead, the out. Through the middle. Well, it's going to be tough in the end for Elliott. Higgins was lurking. Might work out well. Back it comes to Elliott from Adams. Fed the handball. Wait, Agricultural.
Got to always protect the player with his head over the footy, so Wait just a little bit uncontrolled in his attack and a 50-metre penalty.
Talk about Melbourne 4 seasons in one day. Jared Waite capable of plenty in an afternoon.
On occasions, I'm sure he surprises himself. There's Elliott. Sends a long one down towards the pocket. Brown spoils his teammate Hansen. Blair's in front. Tackled to the ground by Harvey. Well done by Harvey, working hard. Cloak for Solo. Gets it away to Grundy, who lines up at goal and kicks it through for a much-needed one. They get their third.
Witts, Grundy and Fasolo, the goal kickers so far for the Pies, and the usual suspects haven't looked likely. Trav Cloak's been quiet.
Yeah, it has, but that's great from the ruckman to try and stand back up. Their first quarter wasn't ideal. I reckon Buckley would have had a bit of a go at him, but from to come out and kick 2 of the 3 goals and try and stand up, make a stand, it's a good result.
Turn the ball over. Todd Goldstein, of course, has got a goal. So now Witts has got one, Grundy's got one. So in terms of just getting on the scoreboard, the Collingwood ruckman have evened it up.
Swanee's trying to lift his boys here. He's had 16 touches. He's had 4 clearances, 6 inside 50s. He's doing what he can.
Out the back, the ball is fed. Williams, Grundy, kick the last for the Pies, and suddenly it's in dangerous territory again. But the ball favoured Tarrant. Quick handball, gets it back again. Nahas just slices through some Pies. Atley feeds the ball back. Zeeble. Overlap is on. Goldstein ignored. Now, a couple of Pies will fly. Fall of the ball. Langdon got a hand onto it. Williams gets back to the contest. Chance for Gibson off the head of side bottom. Goldstein, Oxley, Thomas. Well, caught in the end. Tackle, released. Thomas, Frost. Pies still under enormous pressure. Now Langdon, Grundy, he'll get taken to ground, drop the football to Mont. Back it comes to Gibson, measures things up. Big Ben Brown directly in front. Well, they were under siege, the Pies. They thought they were away. Comes back inside, and now Brown can try and have a crack at his first for the afternoon.
And the tackling pressure, of course, of the Kangaroos is part of why this is all happening, but Collingwood are just having trouble getting anyone to really carry the football. Varco looks a bit dangerous if he gets a bit of space, but mostly the Kangaroos' pressure is just shutting that down.
Well, Brown came in with 12 next to his name, and he won't add to it. He sprays to the right. Disappointing outcome. Margin skips out to 33.
He always reminds me, Ben Brown, because his uncle James Manson played in the 1990 Collingwood Premiership team, and both fantastic to coach, real big goers.
Goal sack. Brown got a fist on it. Taken by Wright. Hooks it back inside the 50. 3 men up for Collingwood. Thomas stayed down. It was a shrewd decision, but he slipped over Petrie. Standing his ground side bottom. Really sighted in this second term side bottom. Oxley. Williams. It's hard to bring down Williams. Well, the kick should be marked out there. Standing his ground, McMillan had it thumped away. Fasolo playing 3 of them. Assisted by Blair eventually, but too late. Cunnington, good hand pass, releases Gibson into space. Gibson takes a shot at goal, and he's put it through. What a wonderful goal. Sam Gibson, a star in the finals last season. Remember his hard running in Sydney in particular. And that was a wonderful goal. That's what he does best. He roams that outer side or near side, depending on which way they're going. I had to get technical, but he can kick a goal.
Lovely handball by Cunnington here. A lot of players in the vicinity, but he just saw the player in space, released him beautifully.
Podgy, he spent some time on the Hawks rookie list.
Yeah, he did. He was down at Box Hill, and we got him for a year, and then North picked him up. Great pickup by him. He's been excellent. Best
and fairest, captain of the Box Hill Hawks, and since he debuted, Sam Gibson, he has not missed a game. What a find he has been. Jesse White, well done. They need this, the Pies.
We haven't seen Jesse White much. Only had a couple of handballs. First kick for the game.
That's Collingwood's second mark inside 50. North have had 9. Collingwood averaged 15 a game, so they're well below. They just need to have more effective kicks to their forward advantage like that one.
So Jesse White kicked 4 goals, 1 last week, a PB for himself, 14 for the season. The Pies simply desperate for this. Well, that's outstanding. Tough spot, wet day, perfect kick. So back to 33 after the Gibson goal made it 39, and 2.5 to play before the 20-minute break, and Jesse White was called upon, needed, and delivered. First kick of the afternoon. Rarely sighted, rarely seen it, but making the most of his first opportunity. Trav Cloak for the afternoon, seen it 8 times, just the 1 minus score. Goal scorers for Solo, Grundy.
That's all the mindset of a forward needs. You might only get 3 or 4 opportunities in a game to kick them, but if you're effective and kick straight, you'd finish with only 8 or 10 touches. But if you can finish with 3 or 4 goals, you've done your job for the team.
And fade out's not completely unknown to North. Not so much recently, but a couple of seasons back had their share. Cunnington, Oxley over the football, Varco, Adams. If they can get it under 5 Collingwood, who knows? Now holding the man. There's going to be a free kick to side bottom up from the back pocket. Steele side bottom. On one knee is Thomas. Didn't see what happened there. Might have just been a collision. Here's Witts. Plays on. Side bottom. Obviously on Thomas, I'd suggest. No one running with him. Cloak couldn't hang on. Gibson, Bastanak, surrounded. Crowd upset about something. Petrie. Gibson picks it up. Puts it away. Goal sack. Bastanak with dash. Good effort by Blair. Gibson retreats this time. Petrie marshals the troops and goes again. Harvey, wonderful effort, stood his ground, slips it away. Hansen finds it inside the centre circles. Ackley comes with dash inside the forward 50. Ball runs loose towards the boundary off the fist of Oxley. Picked up by Frost, was short of. Oxley going to the ground. Goal sack couldn't take it. Nahas still going. Nahas paddles it across the 50. Releases Harvey. Hooks it down towards full forward. Collingwood have got 3 on 2, but a push in the back. Bastanak will get a free.
Well done, Robbie Nahas there. Didn't give up, kept the ball in front of him. Gave another opportunity for his forwards to have a shot at goal.
I think the thing about Nahas is it's a bit of a flow-on effect because Marley Williams would usually play on that dangerous, high, small forward. He's had to go on Brent Harvey and do a job on him, so Nahas obviously ends up with a different opponent.
So Bastanak should go from here. Spirited build-up. North goal.
Boos ring out around the stadium. I think they're still disappointed with the cloak marking attempt. They feel as though he was impeded as he went for the mark, and they're disappointed with the free kick. So in their view, things going against them, and rubber the green with the Kangaroos. Regardless, the Kangas back out to 39 points after the quick response by Jesse White. Bastanak a minute later, goal to North Melbourne.
Yeah, it was the flat hands in the back free kick. It's a black and white rule of that, of course, that one. If it is flat hands on the opponent's back, it doesn't matter how hard you push him, it's an automatic free kick. So I think that was a pretty clear one for Bastanak then.
Well, the Roos by 20 at quarter time. Right now, 39 points. Higgins got one late in the first term. Is there a major late in the second for either side? Goldsack tried to give it to side bottom, did in the end. Little kick ends up with Witts. Tackle from Thomas. Tuvey quickly. Pendlebury, rare fumble, tried to feed it to Goldsack. He gets tackled. It's going to stay in there. Well, maybe.
Been good, Lindsay Thomas. He hasn't actually had a shot at goal, but he's had 10 kicks, 1 handball. Mainly been working up around half forward, up into the middle of the ground, but I think he's been a really valuable player.
He's definitely created for opportunities for his fellow forwards.
Top 4 spot up for grabs for Collingwood. North Melbourne desperate to stay in touch with the peloton that is chasing the 8. Half-time, interesting ball game. Kangas by 39 points at the long break.
It's a dream result for the AFL. The closer the finals are towards the end of the season, it's the best thing for them. It keeps everyone interested.
Amazing too, the West Coast Eagles have got the best percentage in the comp. Jeez, they've kicked some big scores. Start of the third term then, 66 plays 27. Long way back for Collingwood here. Bastanak goes after it, in trouble. Did well, got boot to ball. Tuvey, Williams, now Barco out wide. Pendlebury runs to space. Elliott's headed towards the goal square, ignores that, goes low and hard towards Witts, bounces away from him and goes out of bounds.
Talk about percentages, Lee. Just from today's outing so far, the Kangas have gained 5%.
Yeah, well, I guess in the first half of the year, yeah, one big result either way makes a significant difference to the percentages.
Well, the Pies fans want a free kick there, won't get it. Pendlebury will get one, though, and they can start this second half through the skipper with a major.
That was Lindsay Thomas. Everyone will be bitching about him actually dropping into the tackle, I reckon.
Everyone right now praising Scotty.
Well, I think it's fair enough, to be honest. I just reckon testing the tackle is fine. Now, this is the first part of the incident. Well, it's this one here. He drops his body weight, makes sure that Goldstein can't tackle him low. I find that's fine by me, but there is some people who think it's rorting the rules or something.
10 possessions for the afternoon, going at 40%, Scotty Pendlebury. This for his first score of the afternoon. Squeezes it through, needed to. Back to 33. Well done, Skip.
As we've said before, too, Lee, it's a hard way to get a free because it guarantees itself that you'll get a whack in the head every time, doesn't it?
I think the big difference is, Dennis, it's not a dangerous thing. Yeah, you might get a whack in the head. The dangerous one is deliberately putting your head forward into contact, risking spinal injuries. So that's the thing we've got to try and discourage and as much as we possibly can. But the dropping the body height to make the tackler go high, I don't know. I just think that's reasonable gamesmanship, if you want to use that term.
And I think that's why teams spend so much time on their tackling. Getting rugby guys into help tackle is because try and stop stuff like that. Go a bit lower for the hips and try and avoid those high tackles.
Grundy looking for Pendlebury. Got boot to ball belatedly. Cunnington kicks it out wide. Now Goldsack goes after it. Across the 50 he runs. Picks it up at Right half back in trouble, run down from behind, ball spilt free. Brown did okay. Turvey at close quarters to side bottom, bounces one up towards the wing, but White can't control it, and the ball goes out of bounds. 66 plays 33 early going in this third term.
Is there anything, Lee, when you look around the ground you see as an option for the Pies to make a move? Anything that you would change? Chris Pendlebury taken quickly to ground, kicked the last for the Pies, his first.
I don't know whether they're going to get too many goals out of their big plays. Cloak maybe, if all of a sudden he finds a bit, but you know, whether it's the combination of side, bottom, Swat and Pendlebury, I think they have to try and get a few goals out of them in this second half if they're to have any chance. I mean, you just can't, 5 goals and a half of footy, you've got to do better than that, or 4 in the first half.
So Grundy, penetrating ball, well done. Scotty Thompson, right spot. Quickly they're away, the Kangaroos. Harvey receives from Atley, feeds to Ferrito, now to Cunnington. Cloak the tackler, well done. Well, almost. Ball sent wide, Hanson a fumble. Langdon taken to ground by Cunnington. Side bottom wrapped up, going nowhere.
Great pressure there from Collingwood, making North Melbourne overpossess the ball. Good turnover centre forward for them.
So the Pies would love to go back-to-back for the first time this afternoon. Their goals have been well spaced. Petrie hits the ball hard to Gibson. Tuvey, the tackler. Pendlebury getting more involved. Over the top it went. White fed the handball. Comes unstuck. Goldstein wants weight. Frost is there on his hip. Well done, Frost. Has the pace. Continue just to paddle the ball forward. Grundy back to Frost. Thomas is there. Quickly to Grundy. Clever thinking. Now to Varco. Pies on the charge. Well, only momentarily. Right. Goes looking. Goldstein has the sit.
Oh, strong mark. Great chase moments ago by Petrie too. Those big fellas have worked very hard on the forward line. Petrie, well, had a bit each way. Brown's over the football. Nowhere to go with it, but he knew where the help was. He tried to get it back there to Gibson and couldn't manage it. So ball up about 25 metres out from North's attacking goal. They lead by 33. Umpire wasting no time. Goldstein again decisively down to Higgins, and he just misses. Goldstein putting his stamp on this game throughout. He's been terrific.
Thumping ball from Goldsack into the middle of the ground. Cloak pushed underneath the ball again. The Magpies fans see that and want a different decision. Umpire lets it roll. Right, back it goes. Tarrant, Bastanak, Thompson pulls the kick. Couldn't have hit it any better. Atley on the end of it, sweeping handball. Oh. Goldstein seen a lot of the footy over the top to Nahas. He's been dangerous. Low ball, well done. Jared Waite led Varco to the football, and Waite, who's been around the place this afternoon, has too. He has oscillated between being very good and being very stupid.
Well, you've got the rotating defences every team tends to do. It's not so much man-on-man in defence, but all of a sudden you get a match-up where Varco is trying to run with Waite on the lead. Just wasn't, should have the speed, but certainly not the size and bulk.
Really like Nahas' game today. He set up a lot of goals. Hit Waite there for his 4th mark inside 50.
Pendlebury the first of the third. The Kangas trying to answer. Always left.
Goldsack to bring it in then. Some indecision. Now go straight up the middle if you don't mind. Cloak's in front. Tarrant over the top. Falls to Swan. Improvising. Goes off the deck. Adams in trouble. Did well. Will sort off. But directly to McMillan. He's slung. Incorrect disposal. Blair plays on to Adams. 52 metres out. Goes down towards full forward. Cloak gathers, turns, kicks a goal. Turnover on the wing, and Cloak gets his first. Collingwood fighting hard, aren't they?
Back to back for the first time this afternoon. In fact, 3 of the last 4 to Collingwood.
It's amazing how the couple of goals just give the adrenaline rush too for the sides that kick them. So all of a sudden Collingwood are kind of in the game emotionally again, and they've just got the scoreboard ticking. So this is the time for them to make the run. Great tackling pressure. It's the turnover in the middle of the ground. Well, the forward line's completely open with that change of possession, and the North Melbourne defence couldn't react quick enough. Good play by Cloak.
So 4 goals in a half of football to Collingwood, 2 goals in 6 minutes. 39 at half-time becomes 29. So the Waite miss turns into a Collingwood goal. Goldsack.
Hammer, Paul Seedsman's gone down the rooms with the doctor as well, so could be a bit of trouble for Paul Seedsman with a soft tissue.
Thanks, Maxie. DeGoey, the sub this afternoon for the Pies. Gibson threads the ball back. Bastanak in trouble. Went back to Thompson. Off his boot. Back to Gibson. They're retreating. They've got possession for the moment. A rampaging Cloak. Tarrant runs away. Brown, big fly. Got his hands to it. Couldn't complete the transaction. Then suddenly it is at ground level. Players come from all corners of the globe.
It's good here. Collingwood have lifted after half-time. They're pressure around the ball. They're getting the ball. They're taking ground. Giving their forwards an opportunity.
Grundy locks up with Goldstein. Zeeble, the third man up. Side bottoms over the football. McDonald's got him. And the umpire will throw it up.
If you look at the space of the North forward 50, they've got so much space for their forwards to lead into.
And the passion right now coming from the Magpies. Kangaroos need to match it. Grundy kicks it up towards the wing. Elliott held a long time in the tackle. He'll get the free. White didn't know the ball had spilt. Hung on for grim death. Kick comes out from Elliott. Cloak.
Seedsman back on the bench down here, so should be okay.
Good news. And Cloak. Not much to go to other than contests. North have got 3 on 2. Make that 4 on 2. But White takes a strong mark, surrounded. Umpire calls him to play on. Pendlebury, belated spoil, but the mark will stand. Zeeble slapping it away, but not in time.
Well done, Jesse White. Then he ran 60 metres to create an option for Cloak. Took the mark, went back and hit Pendlebury. Great work rate.
So the skipper, the left footer. This is not beyond him.
Got the one of the couple of goals that got the scoreboard going after half-time. This is very kickable, but he has to strike it well.
His 14th possession. Well, he takes something off it, just sets it to the middle. They had 2 men there, 2 small men, and Elliott in front of Blair takes the mark, and Brad Scott can't believe it.
He can't, because the players were zoning off, of course, the North Melbourne defenders. That was a pass. Basically, there was 2 Collingwood players that didn't have a body against. That's the problem with the zoning defence, Hodgie. Sometimes players can forget to cover that spare player.
Exactly right, especially when there was actually every North Melbourne player was inside the 40-50, so everyone's looking around whose man was it. When you got 18 people down there, a couple have to take ownership of one or the other.
Elliott kicks the goal, and Collingwood are making their move at the MCG. Well, like us, I think those North Melbourne guys zoning off certainly and thinking that Pendlebury would take a shot because everything favoured him, the left foot and all, but Pendlebury had other ideas. And Elliott, who was hot last week, if he gets hot now, that could spell trouble for North Melbourne.
Beautiful kick from Pendlebury. I mean, beautifully weighted kick, but to find a player 20 metres out in the centre corridor from a set kick like that.
So the Pies, all 3 goals in this term, 4 of the last 5, and Pendlebury, who had 9 touches in the first half, has had 5 already in this 3rd term, and he's starting to be influential. Adams tried to feed it to Witt. Zeeble saw what was happening, got a hand in there. Cunnington feeds it back to Zeeble. To Harvey. Short ball is good. Lindsay Thomas will come back to the left, and the Pies knew that. They worked back into that space, held up Lindsay for the moment. Now, who is there for North Melbourne? Waite got there. Frost got there with a fist. Side bottom. Has a runner in Langdon. Pulls the kick. First man there will be Tarrant. Has Petrie. Long ball. All Pies for the moment. They can talk amongst themselves. Witts knocked it down. Gibson at the fall of the ball. Threads it back to Harvey. Good in this situation. Takes on Witts. A little one to himself. Waite. Back. Now a chance. Goldstein. Cunnington. Kick smothered. Still a chance for the Kangaroos. The losing ground. Well, Thomas tried to go out of the air. Seedsman, who was in the rooms, is back out onto the ground. Atley taking the ground. It's all just gone up a notch on a Sunday afternoon.
And all of a sudden they panic a bit. I mean, the kick in midair from Lindsay Thomas, you're 55 metres out.
Yep.
It's very hard to kick while a bouncing oval ball.
Goldstein knocked it down. North Melbourne getting a free kick beside the pack. It'll go to Zeeble.
Maybe both sides have discovered it's mandatory to have a close game Sunday afternoon. Someone's told them that.
Yeah, we've certainly had them, haven't we?
Message goes down. Lee's upstairs.
Every week it's a close finish.
There's Zeeble. 55 metres out then. Real test for North Melbourne. Tries something that Pendlebury tried at the other end. Found the same bloke, but it's not what he was thinking. Elliott, short. This is Oxley. Oxley at right half back. And suddenly the ground is simmering. The side bottom. A lot of the football again today, particularly early to Oxley. Goes to the opposite pocket. Brown. Goldsack is running towards that outer side.
They've set it up well at Kangaroos, Dennis. There's just nowhere to go that's going to be really constructive.
No, to a contest then. Naha, some good running moments ago to go with that man who looked to provide the lead. Now Zeeble latches onto a mark out there as a result of that good pressure moments ago. So Zeeble finds himself 60 metres from goal. Comes short. Thomas has got it. Too far out to score. Thomas with a long run here. What will he do? Deep is Brown. He won't get to this contest. Elliott goes back with courage. Waite bearing down. And Waite in that situation can spell trouble.
Dennis, Collingwood are going to
bounds.
activate their sub down here. To go, he's taken off the green vest, just waiting to see who the man is who comes off.
Frost will be loving Elliott at the moment. That's what you need as a key defender. If you get done on the lead by your man, you need your teammate chopping out and giving you a hand.
Ball gets paddled forward. In the end, Harvey feeding it back. McMillan on the end of the chain. Quickly forward again to Blair. So the small men for the Pies doing a good job in defence. Elliott previously, this time Blair. Now, if the goal can come through all this to the Pies, the 39-point margin becomes very manageable. The first three of this third term have gone the way of Collingwood.
Penalty just surged 100 metres from the back 50 into this forward 50 area for Collingwood. He's trying to get used here.
Well, Elliott, big fly, not quite. Follow the ball for Solo. Zeeble comes crashing through. Good tackle from Fasolo. Atley taken high. Pendlebury. Tackle was good for Solo. Couldn't get it away. Zeeble taken a ground, taken high.
He's responded, Zeeble, hasn't he? He's one man that has. Needs a few to follow.
Boys, Adam Oxley's the guy who's been subbed out of the game for the Pies.
Zeeble to the outer side. Well-weighted kick. Higgins can take it and go. Around the outer side then. Waite comes at him and takes the mark on the wing. Two of the new boys. Waite comes back towards the middle. Terrible kick. Blair takes the intercept mark. Goes looking for Witts. Thompson couldn't get there in the nick of time. As a result, Crisp runs to 50. Long bomb. It's an accurate one. Collingwood storming back into it. Oh, the kick on the outer side from Waite.
That just goes to show turnover midfield hurts you. You switch the ball inside. If it comes off, you might be an opportunity to score inside your forward line, but if it doesn't, you turn around and your defenders are hanging out.
Jack Chris, of course, the kicker, is part of the swap from the Lions for Dane Swan, and has had a really good year. So he's Collingwood getting good value out of his recruitment.
Well, 9 inside 50s for the Kangaroos, 2 behinds for the Pies in this term, 5 for 4 straight after managing just 4 for the opening half. And what was looking highly unlikely for Collingwood is now absolutely possible. Well, Thompson had it and then lost it. White quickly forward for Solo. Wrong position. Well done, Sammy Wright. Read it well in the air. Charges in the wrong direction, and then lateral ball. Robbie Tarrant has Gibson all by himself on the wing. Nathan Brown tries to make up ground. In the end, the boundary line, a friend of Collingwood's.
All of a sudden, that crisp ball movement of the Kangaroos has just disappeared for the time being, as the Collingwood have put the pressure physically and mentally back on the leaders.
Oxley off the ground. The goey is on. Like him. Behind the pack. Beaumont Hurriedly onto the boot, down towards half forward. Brown low down around his knees, takes the mark, wants to go quickly, and does to Higgins. Higgins, can he hang on? Yes, he can. Shield at the drop of the ball with his body. And now finds himself about 50 metres out. Not sure he should go for goal here. Probably to the top of the square.
That's just brute strength there to be able to take the tackle, push it off, and then get the ball going your way.
Hodge-esque it was.
Great hands by Higgins up forward as well. For a small guy who's smart around the goals, in the air he can hold his own.
Okay, Higgins. Normally a reliable kick, but this will test him. Measured approach. Kick is on the way. Is it holding its line? No. Slides across the front of goal. Helped on its way by Witts.
Just going back to what Lee said before about the pressure of Collingwood. When North are up by 6 or 7 goals, they can move the ball quite freely, but as soon as the scoreboard pressure comes on, those easy kicks they'll make and start to get a little bit more nerves and you start to turn the ball over a little bit.
11 inside 50s this quarter for the Kangaroos for 3 minor scores.
This is where you look back at the in the first quarter, and those shots on goal that they missed has really come back to haunt them.
Williams deals with Petrie, but not Zeeble. Got hands to it now. He quickly gets back. Zeeble takes on the tackler. Got away from Chris. Marley Williams, though, to De Goey. Tackle from Nahas. Pies fan short was high. Feeding ball to Pendlebury. Crisp. Lovely goal moments ago to half forward. Grundy front spot. Side bottom. Fall of the ball. It's kind to him. Back inside. So much time left to right. Always balanced. Now, Fasolo's got a couple of options, but they were both long. He didn't back himself. Now he backs himself. Right. Chases after him. Long ball. Top of the square. Grundy not quite. In the end, Hansen did enough. Just molested. And the ball tumbles over.
Yes, he did everything he could, Hansen, then to... just a question, was it... yes, there was... If he'd got a free kick then, I don't think he could have complained, but 50-50, as a lot of them are.
Rise smile from Nathan Buckley. Behind the pack, Cunnington's got problems. Crisp took him down. A goal kicker in this term, Crisp. 8 individual goal scorers for the Magpies. Ball up.
Dan, it's their kicking efficiency that's really improved. We spoke about it at half-time. They're up to 68%. Kangaroos just 50% for this quarter.
The volume's gone up at the MCG. Little hand pass from Adams. Swan was pushed in the back.
Push in the back.
We'll get the free kick. McDonald can't believe it. Certainly there. And what a comeback this is.
Yeah, went down, landed on his back. I don't think he can complain about that for it.
Dane Swan. This for 5 in a row. Who would have thought it? The exception of Zeeble, North Melbourne looking very complacent to start this term. Dane Swan then, the Brownlow medalist, comes in and he works it right to left. His first goal, 9 individual goal scorers. More importantly, it's back to 12 points.
This will be the effort that Buckley's after, that he would have mentioned at half-time. Just the second, third, fourth efforts. You look down on the back flank where Pendlebury opened up the game with a nice clean handball, which got the ball going into their forward line. But costly free kick there from North, and Swan was good enough to capitalise.
Five goals from 6 inside 50s this term for Collingwood. 39 points, now just 12 the margin. The Kangaroos suddenly have got plenty to worry about. The Magpies charging. Brown quickly, Waite retreats. Slick hands from Gibson. Poor kick. No, Waite went back, got it, lost it. Tuvey. Suddenly the Pies with all the run. Frost inside Swan. He kicked the last. 18% he went out in the first half, but suddenly he's getting a lot more of the football and using it better. Side bottom. Out of side. Sunday afternoon. Potentially a tight one again. Lights on at the MCG. Collingwood 5-3 come into this match. North Melbourne 4-4. Big lead of North Melbourne being whittled away. Collingwood looking good. 5 of the last 7 in this match, and right now momentum with the black and white. Blair off the ground, hurried ball forward. Well done, Billy Elliott. Lost his man. Has he kicked the goal? Absolutely has. 6 in a row to the Pies. All 6 in this term. Well, Billy's got 2. And the moment the ball ended up in his hands, you knew what was about to happen. It's back to 6 points. And the Kangaroos are shell-shocked.
Just didn't go with him for Redo. And yeah, that Travis Cloke did the previous centre bounce. Witts has gone in now. It must have just filled in, but Collingwood, they're flying now.
Here they come again, Crisp, doing it numerically. Across to Williams, and up comes Elliott. Elliott's got the ball with the man on the mark about 35 metres out from goal, and if he kicks this one, it will bring the house down. It's a Collingwood house. They didn't expect this. Nathan Buckley suddenly has changed his demeanour as the confidence rises. The possession count rises as well, and so do the goals. They've uncorked the genie, and it's wearing number 5 at the moment. One of the stars of the competition. Elliott comes in. Kick is on the way. The crowd right at home. He's got 3. Scores are level.
That's 7 goals from 8 entries.
Yep, 7 goals straight. It's the ability actually to... they still had a massive more amount of inside 50 entries, the North Melbourne, but instead of the forward 50 arc for Collingwood being just a brick wall that kept bouncing back, now they're actually got the scoreboard going. And importantly, 7 shots, 7 goals. Maximum effect.
It'll be interesting to see here what North Melbourne do. They're obviously under a lot of pressure. They've made a smart move. Harvey's gone around. They're playing now as 7th defender. They've put the extra one behind the ball just to try and slow it down a little bit and take a bit of control back.
Well, 7 goals to zip in this term. They have been formidable, the Pies. Billy has 3 goals, 1 after 5 straight last weekend.
I think the important thing, Hodgie, who's the loose man? Is it a guy who can really use the space? Is it McMillan? Looks like the one who's...
McMillan's the spare at the moment. He's good because he's tall enough to have an impact in the air, but if the ball hits the ground, he's also agile enough to help out at ground level.
The Pies, 9 of the last 11. And maybe for 8 in a row. Cloke, right spot, had it lost it. Billy gets crashed into by his own man. Here's Billy, 3 in a row. Oh, Billy. Not quite.
Great desperation, Bobby.
Not
All that I was just talking about then. He was the one who competed with Cloke, otherwise Cloke would have taken that mark, and then he regrouped and dove and took the ball over the line.
For the first time this afternoon, Pies in front.
McMillan.
Luke McDonald's been subbed out down here, boys, as the crowd goes bananas here. Collingwood crowd.
Goal sack. Like his team rising to great heights. Higgins works it forward, goes off the deck, runs down towards half forward. Wait, his error when you think back. So costly, Higgins. Good evasion, kicks inside the forward 50. Petrie tries to stop, knocked away by Brown. They come from all angles, reaching in with side bottom. Vermont taken down. That's not holding the ball. We'll have a ball up. Melbourne have got to answer.
The relationship between hope and energy. Now that the hope is growing for Collingwood, each goal, the hope grows, and so does their energy.
Grundy knocked it down. Langford, or rather Langdon, took it off the boot there of the North Melbourne player on the wing. Over the football, working hard, McMillan. Rolls across to Fasolo. He's taken down immediately, tries to feed it out. Zeeble latches onto somebody, and Zeeble, give him his due, as Adams gets up above him. Zeeble has tried very hard in this avalanche.
25 minutes ago, the Pies trailed by 39 points right now. And for the first time, they lead in this match. Langdon to Swan, almost threw it back to Jordan De Goey. Started as a sub. Pendlebury caught between a couple of roos. Front spot for Rito. Ball now ends up with Pendlebury. As always, so much time to Fasolo. Long ball, top of the square. Who's there? Side bottom! Can you believe this? Suddenly, it is raining goals for Collingwood. This is extraordinary stuff. 8 in a row to Collingwood. 39-point deficit becomes a 7-point lead.
It's in the whole psychology of the game, Luke. Obviously, Collingwood were down now, 39 points behind. Now they've got the goals lead, but all of a sudden it's now the Kangaroos, almost this aversion to losing, this thinking, gee, they're going to lose a game we had in control, unless it's often the team that comes from behind, even though they get to the lead. Now it's the concern, can the Kangaroos respond?
Yeah, exactly. What they have to do is just see himself out to three-quarter time. They've still got another quarter. They're only, 7 points down. There's still plenty of time. Just don't let any more goals go for this third quarter, and then regroup at three-quarter time.
Grundy under the football. Goldstein knocked it down. Bastanak through the legs of Cunnington, though. Seedsman claimed. Hand pass comes forward from Varco. Grundy out wide. Crisp on the burst. They're relentless. Kick goes inside the forward 50. Thumped away by Hanson. Pendlebury pursued by McMillan. And the ball goes out of bounds. So a decision now to be made by North Melbourne. Insipid loss or great win.
North have made the change. They've now got Petrie sitting behind the ball. As we saw the last few weeks there, he's been able to take a few big, strong marks. So they'll be looking for him to just settle things down.
Well, suddenly, 8 goals won from 11 entries, and the Pies have got their highest scoring quarter of the year. So 4 goals in the first half. And in the shadows of three-quarter time, they have 12.
This is certainly the best quarter I've seen them play this year, Hammer. They're just very confidence is up at the moment. We certainly didn't see it coming at half-time.
No.
A remarkable turnaround. Bastanak. Back it comes. Gibson. Couple of one-on-ones on the outer side. Frost. He's a Dow defender. He's done great things for the Magpies. Never gets high possessions, but always does his job. Threading it through. Goldsack on the end of it. Well, they've got time to kick a 9th. The man is free. He kicked the last goal side bottom. Onto the left. It's well weighted for Solo's an accurate kick. It's in good hands. It was with side bottom for Solo to make it 9 for the term.
Hammer, I put the heat on him earlier on in the game, said that he really had to get his pressure up. He's only had 9 possessions and kicked 1 goal, but he's been outstanding today, Alex Fazzola. His pressure in the forward half, been great to see.
Has one for the afternoon, threading it back. Wow, 8-2 for the term.
Usually when Petrie went back, as soon as you get a lot of numbers back, the problem is that's where the ball's going to stay, because everybody's at one end of the field. So the Kangaroos just have to try and stem the Collingwood onslaught.
Now, the goal umpire has made a decision, but the review may prove otherwise.
It's a goal.
It's a goal.
But the whole ball has to be across the line. So
Did that come from the goal umpire? From upstairs?
The score is a goal.
Well, that's your answer there. 100% correct decision. That's why we have it.
That's a big one too. What a good kick by Fasolo, as we remember back. 82-69. Remarkable scenes at the MCG. One of the comebacks of the decade to date, but they still need to win this football match.
I'd still like to see that again, that the whole ball was over the line to overturn the umpire's call. It might well have been right, but let's have a look at the whole ball has to be over the back of the white line. Well, close enough call, I suppose.
And the funny thing is, we have a goalpost that varies in width. I was watching a replay last night, and the ball was on the borderline.
North are now playing 8 defenders. They've got a tagged Harvey going off the back of the square. They've got Drew Petrie sitting 30 metres out straight in front. They're really trying to shut down this quarter.
Well, their highest scoring quarter of the year has just become their highest scoring quarter since 2012, and seemingly they're not done. Adams thumping it forward. Fasolo lost his feet. Wright kept his head. What a remarkable turnaround. 39 points. The Kangaroos lead at half-time. The Magpies by 13. Side bottom, he's got involved. So too Pendlebury. He had 9 to half-time, 17 now.
I think Fasolo's most upset was he had a big party time with the crowd when he kicked that goal, but unfortunately got put off for a little bit.
I was just watching last night, Lee, and our goalposts do look like the Chrysler building a bit, don't they?
Yeah,
like
because the padding down the bottom.
That's, yeah. And it tapers off anyway up the top. There goes the kick down towards full forward. Dying seconds of the term, and it rolls through for a behind. Goldsack, worse for wear.
Always loath to argue with the statute, but I think that was a goal. I reckon it was the right call.
Yeah.
three-quarter time. We've just seen something spectacular. They're on their knees, Collingwood. They've got up, shrugged North Melbourne off in what was an inspirational term of AFL football. Collingwood are 13-5, and North Melbourne now mired on 10-9. Here come the Magpies, but a quarter is still to play.
Goals 2 from 14 entries indicates that that the forward group of Collingwood, and I guess the way the ball came in the mid, the ball came in quicker as well. I would have thought the two parts of that was the reason they kicked their 9 goals.
Exactly right. It was their turnover goals. They had 5 that quarter, which is a great start.
Out of the middle, De Goey storming past is Williams, sends it inside the forward 50. Reaching over the top, Cloak goes back after it. Thompson in the grasp, right. Now it's a hot football, bearing down is White. Did okay out to Higgins. Higgins hard against the boundary line, and this kick is going out on the full, I fancy. Collingwood ball. Old sack.
From the Kangaroos' point of view, why they've had 3 really big losses. When things are falling apart, they have trouble finding it within their personnel just to turn around the flow of the game.
Seedsman got it from Grundy, drives it towards the pocket. It bounces out of bounds. Well, I mentioned coming out of half-time that a couple of years ago it was a chronic problem, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, Andrew Swallow, their captain, he's the one you'd hope would help hold it together. But as a group, their experienced leadership sometimes just can't turn it around.
Cunnington has company. Chris was sensational in that third term with that long goal.
And they're the guys you're going to look for. You're going to look for Zeeble, Cunnington, the blokes in and under just to get the ball going your way. Win the hard contested football.
Fasolo darting through, tried to clear a little space, ends up with a football. Goldstein rips it away from him. The Kangaroos, 39-point leaders at the long break. They were looking irresistible. The Pies looked sluggish, and now the Kangaroos are in a mess. 9-2 in the third term to Collingwood. Ferrito had it, lost it, went and got it again. Cunnington almost passes it to Zeeble. Adams the tackler.
Thanks, Ben.
How quickly this game can turn.
Grundy, first hand to it. De Goey tackled as the ball arrived. Umpire will do it again.
I've liked the move when Frost went on to Waite. He had 7 touches in the first quarter. Frost went to him, and he's had 7 since then.
Goldstein to Pendlebury at their feet. Spills wide, taken by Harvey. Quickly away. Another veteran, Ferrito, slipping over Langdon. This ball runs outside the 50, but it's coming back. Goldsack takes his time, measures the hand pass. Seedsman bearing down Thomas. Seedsman too nimble, but ambitious now. Runs onto his own ball, can't control it, at least initially. Then went to ground. Series of problems. Kicks inside the forward 50. Cloak manoeuvring at it. Got boot to ball. Chance for White. White head down. Clashes with McMillan. Ball still live and brilliantly done. Elliott puts it through for number 4. Aligned himself and got the angle perfectly.
10 in a row. 10. 4 in the first half, 10 since half-time.
That's the scrappy goals that you look for that North couldn't get in the first quarter. Just you fight in your second, third, fourth efforts, and then all it takes is a little toe poke to get it through. So they've been fighting really hard since quarter time.
A couple of minutes into the last quarter, just this point of time, the ball's been in the Collingwood forward line. So the response after the break from the Kangaroos hasn't come yet. Great scungy goal, but they still get the 6-pointer. Just don't let the ball out of the area, force the turnover.
The last 10 of the match, Billy Elliott in the first half, 7 touches, 1 behind. The second half, 6 touches, 4 goals straight. Waite ran into Frost, terrific tackle, second, third effort, brilliant. Symbolic of what Collingwood are doing now.
Very unlucky there, Frost. It was a great tackle, could almost been holding the ball. Tried to take on the tackler and didn't dispose of it.
Since half-time, a 59-point turnaround. Pendlebury has got busy. Williams around the corner. Cloak leads Tarrant to the ball, knocked it down, wanted Adams, might not find him. In fact, finds himself. Harvey wide, Atley. Well, Billy Elliott, he has suddenly got immersed in this game. Brad Scott Hasn't put the phone down since about 5 minutes into the third term.
Margin 20 points then, out of nothing. Higgins to Zeeble, take it high. It's a free kick at the interchange gates. Still goalless since half-time, North Melbourne. They led by 39 points. High ball, Goldstein. He can keep his head up. 60 metres out. Long down towards full forward. Nahas is dropping back. He's the danger. Goes into an open goal and scores. He's got 3. And to say they needed that one well.
This is now North's chance to see if they can change the flow. They've changed the flow of the goals, but just can they get that little bit of energy rush, the adrenaline flow from scoring the goal, and to match what has been a fantastic attack on the game by Collingwood this last 30 minutes. Doing that little bit early, Goldstein. We haven't seen him as much, of course, when Collingwood have dominated the game the last 30 minutes.
37 minutes between North Melbourne goals. Bastanak, the last of the first half. Nahas.
With that as well, with that great mark by Goldstein, but Grundy's got to man the mark tightly. He's got to make sure he goes back and kicks over his hand. He burned his own defenders then.
Well, it's still just 14 points. For all the Collingwood dominance, North Melbourne are absolutely within touch. Momentum absolutely with Collingwood. Nathan Brown, the look away, might work out for the Kangaroos. Wide ball, little one back inside Lindsay Thomas. And just like that, 2 in a row, the Kangaroos. Margin back to 8 points.
Now, the game's still very much alive. I mean, Collingwood just had it all their own way for 30 minutes, but it's amazing if you can just break the run of goals which Collingwood had set up, that the whole game changes all of a sudden momentarily, and you can see just that North have just thrown themselves in this last minute, got the second goal. Now the scoreboard is clearly manageable. 8-point game.
Just going back to the goal before that, Hodge, I think I know you're a player, you've got to be a little bit kinder, but Brodie Grundy had to do a lot better. He had to get there and put a spoil on and then man the mark. So Goldstein's been involved in both those goals, so the ruckman for the Pies really have to pick up in this last quarter.
North Melbourne belatedly flexing some muscle. Back-to-back goals. Goldstein slaps it down. Turner, Goldstein, Lamont sends it long down towards full forward. Turvey under pressure, got a hand to it. White out of mid-air. Unbelievable.
This is extraordinary. 10 in a row, 3 in a minute and a half.
I think it's how smart small forwards are these days. I know Waite was smart enough then to get his boot to it, but the Thomas's goal just before, how efficient. He had one step to kick a banana goal. But if you look at the Collingwood guys, Elliott's been outstanding up the other end.
Another good clearance, the centre bounce clearance, and Goldstein got involved. Again, there's the quick forward, just running onto the ball in the goal square. It's the changing game, the changing circumstance, changing emotions.
3 goals in a row has raised the Kangaroos' fading hopes. 3 inside 50 entries, 3 goals for the Kangaroos after 13 for 3 behinds in the third term. Sunday afternoon football, another tight one. 2-point lead, Collingwood. 39 points to the Kangaroos at halftime. Collingwood got out to 20 moments ago. Suddenly, the Pies desperate for one. Just 2 points. Elliott, he's been wonderful since halftime. Long ball, Trav Cloak. Show of strength. Tarrant did well. Stood up. Went to ground. Chris, maybe in the back. Collingwood, well, they thought it, so too their fans. Cunnington, desperate. Pendlebury, De Goey on. He started as a sub.
This is where you'd never want to be a coach. Lee, you've been with it for years, mate. This is why you either want to be a player, you can do something, or sitting back and watch.
It's much more comfortable part of the position on the ground to watch the game from the broadcast box, Hudgie.
Witts knocked it down. Adams walks into a tackle. Umpire will do it again.
The calmest people on the ground, in fact, are the players on the field. It's all the fans and the coaches, because you can't do anything. You're out of control, but it's a player's game, as it always is.
Swan to a dangerous location. Turner to Higgins. Gets it out of the 50. Leading back there is Langdon. Ample time, measures the kick and goes to a pretty good man. White juggled it, no. Missed it at the second attempt. Blair got the crumb though. Varco for Williams. He couldn't do anything with it. Chris put the body in. Harvey won a hard ball. And now Waite, no one up ahead. Waite eventually did exactly that for Brown. Brown runs onto a loose ball, goes back to Turner. Put down by Williams. Varco comes in. Williams slips, slides and gets away. Runs it up towards the wing. Trying to kick it long, waiting for it. Pendlebury. Sensing the danger. Cunnington comes across and slaps it out of bounds.
Now it is a battle. I mean, you saw the emotional ebb and flow in the third quarter, and then now both sides are into it equally, I reckon, in terms of that energy level that they're creating by their emotional state.
And that's what you want to see from Marley Williams. He's got the job on Brent Hardy. He leaves he's the person he's targeted to go across to make a massive impact.
Well, what a game it's been. Almost out of reach for the Magpies. Suddenly you thought Kangaroos no hope. The last 3 to North Melbourne, absolutely against the flow. 10 in a row to the Magpies. A 20-point lead. Last 3 to North Melbourne. Varco, Nahas, clever from Varco. Slapped it down, side bottom. Superb in the third term. Witts goes back with a flight. Almost brought it in.
I don't think the umpires aren't nervous either. I'm nervous for them because it's just one decision can also make the critical thing in a close game.
Collingwood trying to go 6-3. A loss, they're 5-4. North Melbourne need the win to go 5-4. The Goey caught the Kangaroos through McMillan. Try and work their way through.
There's Tarrant. Cross half back. Where will he go now? Next link in the chain. Well, not with that kick. You don't expect too much. Knocked down by Blair. Scuttles after it. Turvey crumbed it. Goes to Langdon. And now a chance for Clark. Not at the second attempt. Falls in front for Solo in all sorts of trouble. Knew where the help was. Goes to a good man in Elliott. Elliott back to White. He's surrounded. Taken down. Got boot to ball. Elliott's over it. They're over him. They will have a ball up about 30 metres out.
North have been very good at that today. Collingwood guys are getting their hands to the ball and just having a little bit of body contact, enough to make the Collingwood boys drop them. So it's probably affected 4 or 5 marks inside 50.
Grundy to space. Elliott, the first man there. Looking for 5 straight last week. Suddenly for the Magpies, he looks like the man that might just be the man that does the most damage. Cloak has had his hands on the ball a little, but yet to do serious damage. 1-1 for the afternoon.
Has been an almost day, isn't it? There's about 6 times he almost clunked the mark, which would give him a shot at goal.
Hanson hangs on. Cunnington cruises past. Steps by Seedsman. Kicks it long towards the wing. Goldsack nudged out of it. Seemed to be fair enough. Thomas kicks it down towards half forward. And Petrie on the lead has taken the mark, spots a man loose and puts it across to Gibson. So Gibson will kick for the lead. What a remarkable finish. What a remarkable second half.
Good body use by Thomas. He knew he could lean on the Goldsack, but if he bumped into him too hard, then it would be a free kick for the push in the back. So I thought he just held his ground. Did it really well.
Right behind Gibson. Kick is on the way and he's missed. Margin back to 2 points.
So the responsibility with Goldsack. Called to play on. He finds his man in Swan. Inefficient in the opening half. He's been better since. Hasn't added huge numbers to his afternoon, but he's found his target when he was wayward early.
This man's been very good, coming up for his 27th disposal. He's been nice and calm, had great skills all day.
Swan again. Trust in Varco. Back to Swan. Langdon has space. On he rolls. Tuvey sees Grundy. Safe hands. He rolls off his line, Grundy. Now for Solo, has the sit again. Excellent. at full stretch, thumps the ball forward. Witts got Tarrant to deal with. Help comes from Hansen. Hansen, hands and knees, puts it to Tarrant. He was being tackled almost before he had it. Billy Elliott thereabouts. Witts, quick kick forward. Bouncing ball, Gibson at the other end of the ground. Missed a shot moments ago. Cunnington almost has a kick at goal. Concedes. And the margin skips out to 3 points.
Everybody disorientated for a moment.
As players are getting fatigued, normally the tackling pressure drops off. That's holding off from both sides. So the player with the footies under heaps of pressure.
Harvey, the veteran, drives it straight up the middle. It'll run on this one. Alongside the centre circle, Swan busy in the last few moments. A little 1-2 with Grundy, now in trouble. Incorrect disposal, advantage will be paid. Thomas inside the forward 50, and this for the lead. Nahas needs to kick it. He's been good today. He's been at 3.
He was hoping that Zeeble could get forward to actually be used over the top. Fantastic tackle by Goldstein that turned the ball over. So Nahas was certainly very good early. Got his couple of goals in the first half. Critical shot, 3 goals. So he's done his bit.
Halfway through the term. 9 unanswered goals in that third quarter to Collingwood. Nahas's kick is on the way, and he swung it left. Back-to-back misses that side. 2 points the margin.
13-11, they've had enough opportunities to put the Pies away early, and even now, a couple of these set shots that they're missing, it really hurts.
Pressure's an amazing thing, Lee. He was 3 straight for the afternoon, and he was 11-1 for the year.
Yeah, it's that he's out of the 40-metre range. They're not gibbies, but they're certainly critical to be kicked.
Tuvey, well done, Adams. Suddenly things very urgent for both sides. 16 gone, final term. Halfway through with 10 remaining. And for Solo, starting to cover the ground. In the middle, Marley Williams breaks free, ignored. Happy to go for territory for Solo. Grundy, White, well done, Thompson, stood his ground. How often does he do that? So Thompson, short ball, Goldstein, remarkable big man, continues just to lumber, but does it all so well.
Nice kick too, exquisite. White on the lead, just forward of the wing. Higgins demands the football and gets it. 75 metres out. Plenty of movement up ahead. Goes for distance, long bomb. Behind is Petrie. Brown in from the side, and Petrie juggles the mark.
Just had enough purchase to have the height and stand up. It was a packed situation, but he just had the highest hands, really, the tallest reach. Great mark, though.
Particularly because the rain started coming down just before he took that mark. So really nice contested mark by Drew Petrie.
He's kicked 1-2 for the afternoon. Drew Petrie for the lead. Kick is on the way. And North Melbourne from the ashes. Their turn.
Well, we get used to tight ones on Sundays. Just the second lead change of the afternoon. The Kangaroos led for so long, and Collingwood, after kicking 10, looked irresistible. 20-point leaders. The last 4 goals of the afternoon to North Melbourne. Nahas, Thomas, Waite, and now Petrie, and North Melbourne by 4 points as the rain starts to tumble.
As you can see here, the rain's really coming down hard. This is where you forget about your handballs. You get the ball, you put on the boot, you get it into your forward 50 and trying to create a slippery little goal that Elliott did before. Don't worry about the handball or feeding back or overusing it.
Well, it has been a game of momentum changes. Collingwood was against them for a long time. Then they had it for a full term. They got out to 20. They trailed by 4. Desperate times now for Collingwood. Can they find an answer? Seedsman backs himself for pace. A lunging tackle, just enough from McMillan to hold things up. Zeeble kept it in. Probably shouldn't have. Blair tumbles the ball forward for Solo quickly. Cloak, he fumbles too. Did he keep it in? Umpire said all okay. Well, little drop, had to take it. Gibson, messy. Side bottom, held his ground. White, quick kick. Tarrant lost it. Still desperate times. Ferrito sees it through. The rain gets heavier. Still it's North Melbourne. Just 3 points. Collingwood won a top 4. And the Kangaroos desperate for a 5th win.
It's a big 3 points. I don't think there's going to be too many goals if the pause down like this for the last 7 or 8 minutes.
Oh, Gibson puts it out of bounds on the fall.
Going to be a lot of mistakes. All of a sudden, very slippery ball.
Unusual for the players. Hasn't been that way for the best part of the day. Elliott was up. He's like a human bouncing castle, and the ball goes out of bounds in the pocket. They'll have a throw in. Remarkable leap. Elliott, exciting player. In the second half, in many ways, has belonged as much to him as to Collingwood. Tossed in. Witts is there. Goldstein slaps it down. Zeeble worked so hard. He's at the base of that. And both sides will regroup as the rain falls at the MCG. What we've come to expect on a Sunday. Both presidents, media men.
North better be cautious here. They got Steele Sidebottom just sitting out the back of the stoppage. He's a very dangerous man, both left and right foot. He's just come across now to get manned up by Atley, but I wouldn't be leaving him by himself there.
Witts won the battle. Gibson again. His disposal, giving the ball back to Collingwood. Sidebottom, dangerously the closest man there.
Got a slippery ball, but he can turn the ball, so you probably try and do the inside the banana, right foot banana.
His drop punts, they actually go from left to right, so it actually suits him in this pocket.
Looks like drop punt he's going with. Oh no, left footer.
Well, a beautifully skilled player.
He's just a wonderful player. Sidebottom missed 6 weeks with a broken thumb. 31 possessions last week. 28 to the moment here. In front, Petrie. Off hands and it spills out of bounds. 2 points the difference. Who knows? A draw on the cards. Credit North. They've steadied. An avalanche hit them. Showed some poise. Demont behind the pack. Donovoid's half forward. Picked up nicely by White. Feigns a hand pass. Then sends it out wide. Harvey, the meat and the sandwich there. Ball spills out of bounds. Harvey, terrific first half. Not as much of the football in the second half. He had 17 at half time, so just the 9 in the second half. That hurt. Boundary throw in. Goldstein has been the master in this situation.
The point's well made, Den. The Kangaroos looked like they had a gorilla jump on their backs, and all the run that they had in that opening half had been lost, and then suddenly they found it again. The last 4 goals of this match, 4 goals to 1-4 in this term. Pies, 14-point leaders at 3/4 time, have surrendered a 20-point lead that they had after the Elliott goal to open this final term. North Melbourne by 2, 43,000 have braved tough conditions. Sunday afternoon football, 6.5 minutes remaining. Crisp, hurried ball forward, quickly to boot. Cloak fed it well. Elliott, a bouncing ball. Inside 50, tough spot. Who's at the fall of the ball? Dane Swan. Held his ground, used his body, and all the experience was required.
Yes, he had McMillan in front of him. McMillan tried to come back, but as soon as he plants his feet, he's got terrific low centre of gravity and just completely had the balance, weight, strength on McMillan.
6 touches for the term, more than anyone else out on the ground. Second goal of the afternoon. Pies back in front.
It's very hard to watching Swan. He's got no emotion. He's taken a great mark, put his team in front in a very solid game, and he kicks it off 3 or 4 steps and walks back to the middle. But as I said, it's experienced players who takes a calm mark in the wet conditions and see how much it's raining there. Take it cleanly in the hands and then go back and kick a nice goal.
Well, he's got his couple. Sidebottom's got 1. Elliott's got 4. Pendlebury's got 1 for Solo. So their small mediums have been their goal kickers, not their talls.
With conditions like that, you probably understand that. It's been those opportunist goals that they've been able to snaffle.
4 points the margin then. Tossed up. Goldstein rises high to Goey. Pendlebury sends it down towards half forward. Higgins leading back in the race. Went to ground a little too easily. In trouble, Thompson, but he's pushed in the back. Well, high tackle, said the umpire. Swan, fierce competitor. High ball from Thompson. Beyond the wing. Zeeble works in front. Missed it. Williams arrives quickly. Zeeble tries to feed it out to help. 3 guys for North that side of the pack. No clear ball, though. Ball up. Just over 5 minutes remaining.
Pies yet to throw anyone behind the ball. Hodgie, I think for the Hawthorn they would have done that by now, wouldn't they?
Hard to say though, mate. But you'd think in these wet conditions, you wouldn't want one just slipping through uncontested. So they got the lead as long as they're putting the pressure on.
Brown and Goldsack. Brown did well. Lindsay Thomas read it well. Frost tackled terrific. Still a chance for the Kangaroos. Slippery ball. Little fumble from Tooby. Didn't quite hit to Goey. Pendlebury brilliant to Witts. Well done to Swan. Over the top they go. Adams just stops, retreats. Forward ball. Tarrant. Oh, wow, left it go. To Goey. Off the ground. Pasolo. Quickly. Forward. Elliott. Not quite. Blair. The rain tumbles. And maybe back-to-back goals for the Pies. Swan kicked the last. And Blair needs to control the moment.
Blair took the chest mark, and I think Tarrant wasn't sure whether to go hands or chest mark, so he virtually did half and half. Spilled it.
And that's where it was. What Nick said then, did Collingwood have the spare? North Melbourne actually had the spare. Then they had Ferrito playing behind Cloak, and they had Tarrant playing in front. And unfortunately, you drop a mark like that, and it really does hurt.
Hasn't scored this afternoon. Well, big goal from a small man. His first. Pies out to a 10-point lead.
This is the stage now where you'd see someone behind the ball. Wet conditions, 4 minutes to play. Try and run down the clock, but make sure there's no easy goals. 4 minutes surely you can go through without. You can allow one go through, but not like a little sock off the ground. Put a bit of security behind the game and really try and shut it down.
And it looks like they have Hodgie. Paul Seaman came off the bench. He's gone down back. There is 7 Collingwood defenders right at this minute, so they may have used Seaman down there to be that man.
It's just certainly going to be very difficult to run the ball with the numbers out of the back half, so it really is field position now, isn't it?
They got their 2 main guns in there as well. Pendlebury, Swan.
Witts is up. First hand to it. Picks it up. Kicks towards half forward. Playing in front. White. Juggles the mark. Cramps. Lays it off to Swan. Swan 60 metres out. Kicks wide, and guess who? Elliott.
That should not happen there. They had a spare behind the ball. Get an easy chest mark from that. That's Brad Scott. We're looking at that. They'll be reviewing that at the game on Monday.
I reckon every North Melbourne defender would know who his opponent was, and therefore exactly who I'm responsible for. And Elliott, like Hanson, would Hanson have been there now?
That's the hardest thing. We'll have a look, see how Elliott goes here. He's going back to have his kick his 5th.
Elliott hangs it out to the right.
But that's the hardest thing. When you got 6 defenders down there on 6 forwards, everyone knows who their man is. As soon as you drop a 7th defender down there, everyone's sort of pushing, am I spare, are you spare? And then once they run across the other side, the lack of communication really hurts.
Harvey kicks into an oncoming player. Ricochets to about 20 metres out. White tries to go off the ground. Harvey keen to make amends. Grabbed by White in there. Kicks it towards midfield. Reaching over the top. Brown. Down goes Seedsman. The Goey. Ample time now for Goldsack. Under 3 minutes to go. And Sidebottom has got the football on the outer side. Just off his step. Just lobs it out wide, and Pendlebury. 2 famous names and a famous victory. If Collingwood do win this, and it looks like they will, it's the sort of comeback a coach can take to the bank.
So I'm happy to drop my more goals to go than minutes to go theory, Dennis, in this weather.
Yeah, Buckley.
They should win from here.
Buckley can play that card any time he likes. Remember, half-time against North Melbourne.
Hasn't Dane Swan had an enormous second half? He went at 18% in regard to efficiency in the opening half, and 93 since then. Adams contemplates, no one charges at him, so he takes his time. Kick lets him down. Still time for the Kangaroos. Atley thumping ball forward. They need to take this. They can't. Nathan Brown will be happy just to eat up some time. He moves it on. Grundy at halfback.
Don't be afraid, from Collingwood's point of view, to go down the line. So just don't let the ball anywhere near the centre corridor. It'll be impossible for the Kangaroos to be able to score a couple from here.
White front spot, not able to take it cleanly. Slippery ball, but the Kangaroos a long way from their goals. They need two. They've got 96 seconds.
Jesse White hasn't had a huge impact on the game, but he just ran it again 60 metres to make a contest down the line.
Pendlebury knocked it down. Attlee can't get away. Held to him, says the umpire. Clock stops at 1:29.
Langdon's now pushing behind the ball for Collingwood.
Famous club. They've put on a terrific second half this afternoon. It will be a famous victory if in fact they win. Knocked forward by Grundy, taken by Blair, spins in and out of trouble. Down he goes, didn't have the footy. Cunnington is taken down and will get a free kick, I think. In fact, who is that under there? It's going to be young Turner, who came on as this sub, who was pushed in the back, and he will get the free. Meantime, Wright in trouble.
So Turner desperately hopeful. Brown, Goldstein, nothing doing in the air. Tuvey terrific. Siegeman, Williams, he's been great all afternoon. Crisp, hemmed in. Well, Billy Elliott happy just to slap it over the top. What a second half he's had. 4-2 for the afternoon, 5 straight last weekend. What a player he is to watch. A cult figure wearing a famous number. Kangaroos go up in numbers. Cunnington, hurried ball forward. Brown and Goldsack. Goldsack almost won the battle. Brown did well at ground level. Thomas couldn't quite control it. Pendlebury seems to all of the time. Wet, dry, doesn't matter. Swan over the top. De Goey, hurried ball forward. Kangaroos will be there. Hanson unable to take it cleanly. What an afternoon from Collingwood. They're in trouble, out of trouble, in strife again, but in the end, they will be the victors.
And tonight they will be in the top 4. Throw in right on the 50. Young side, emerging team, wonderful spirit today. Swan, a veteran, to Pendlebury. Again, Elliott gets on the end of it. Fitting, but he may kick after the siren. He's got 4-2. He came to life, played inspired football in that third term when Collingwood rattled on 9 unanswered goals. There's the siren, a famous victory. And Elliott perhaps wants to celebrate. Brad Scott, well, he'll try and make sense of this tonight. He was good. Elliott for 5 for the second consecutive week. He puts through a goal that really says it all. They never stopped.